pastor and American Idol contestant is being accused of murdering his wife and stated to make it look like a burglary gone wrong. In this video, I'm going to watch and break down the body cam footage from the night of the incident. Welcome to Criminal Motives. My name is Matthew Phifer. I'm a therapist who gives my thoughts and reactions to events that are happening in true crime. So if that's the type of content you enjoy, be sure to like, share, subscribe. With that being said, let's get this episode started.
In body cam video on a high-profile case that we have been following of a husband who is accused of killing his wife in the middle of the night. This is a husband who, you will see, had a lot of members of the public on his side, people who believed that he was not capable of doing something like what police say he is alleged to have done. Police, though, were not buying his story.
I think it's this one, Colin. No?
Oh my God!
Miami County 911.
Oh my! Somebody broke into my home. Somebody broke into my home and shot my wife.
Are they still in there?
I don't know.
Okay, what's the address?
Now, that was the call that was made around 2:30 in the morning on February 16th by Caleb Flynn in Tip City, Ohio. It's a small town just north of Dayton. And on that phone call, Caleb Flynn claims that his wife was shot by an intruder. His wife's name was Ashley Flynn. Also inside the house as all of this took place, this violence, the couple's two children, two elementary-aged girls, were asleep in another room. Now,
just so you know, real quick, I did break down the 911 call. If you want to watch that, I'll have a card linked up top if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're watching this on another platform or another channel, if you scroll back probably 2 or 3, maybe 4 episodes, I break down the 911 call. That's very, very interesting. And I think that if you're interested in this case, you should definitely listen to that and listen to my breakdown of this, because I think it brings in some perspective to this body cam footage as well.
in the body cam video that was just released by police in Tip City, the department has blurred when officers enter Flynn's home and when they have anything that is pertinent to the investigation. They've taken the audio out there. But other than that, they keep the audio rolling so you can hear what officers are taking in and what Caleb is telling them as they go through his house. Now, this is what one of the first officers arriving on scene, running into this house, saw when they interacted with Caleb Flynn.
Corey?
Okay.
I checked this right here, nothing else.
Okay.
My daughters are in the bedroom over there, they're still asleep.
Okay, have you checked on them?
The 911, yes. Right now, no one else comes in here, period. No, every door. No one.
Okay.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God.
Hey, sit. You want to sit down?
No.
Okay. Take a breath.
Is she gone?
Look at me. Look at me. Take a breath. Okay.
I can't.
Look at me. I need you to breathe, okay?
Try not to touch much. What do I do with my daughters?
Now, one thing about this, it's not lost on me that not only does he have experience as a praise and worship pastor, but also on American Idol. He's used to being on stage, right, in the public eye. And oftentimes in cases like this, when someone has some sort of performance background, a lot of times you see not only a lot of dramatics, but so I've shared a lot of or a few episodes where there are no tears coming down. But when someone has some experience with performing in front of people, they can cry. So I think that a lot of times people are looking for whether or not someone has tears. I did the Corey Richens case a couple of days ago, and she had no tears, right? And now she, from what I understand, doesn't have any performance background or anything like that. But people can fake cry, right? So I want to make sure that we bring that out. And then also, right before I paused, I probably should back it up, right? But right before I paused, he also says, "What about my girls?" And I want you to keep that in mind, because one of the things that I noticed that Caleb does is that he oftentimes uses his girls as a defense mechanism and as a way to deflect. He does it in court. He does it right here. Right. So there's obviously a lot of pressure on him, not only to perform right now, but so he obviously called the police and everything, and he wants the police to show up, but he also doesn't necessarily want them to do a really thorough investigation for obvious reasons. And we're going to get into that here in the video here in a second. But the first thing that I noticed that Caleb does pretty frequently, right? So I just want to take care of my girls. Where are my girls? Right. However, and again, if you go back to the 911 call, he wasn't concerned about his girls at all. Didn't go to check on them. The 911 operator was asking him about his girls, wasn't concerned about them at all. Even though he allegedly was in the room asleep with them, but was not really any concern with them. But I noticed that there is a pattern of deflection and defensiveness that he uses his girls as a way to kind of get pressure off of him, so to speak. But let's continue.
What are you doing with my daughters?
Right now, I need you to breathe, okay? Do you have any family that you can call? Okay, where's your phone at? Okay. Do you want to call family? Hold on. Corey, do you watch him? Yep.
Water's in route. They're not staying together. They go to condos.
Yes, one person only.
Oh, that door's open over there. That back door is open. Is that lead outside? Because I can't see. Is that a closet? Okay.
The center console is a truck. So.
It is. Should we have him? Okay, look at this. Watch out. Oh no, it's paint. Do you see any blood along the truck at all?
So now keep in mind, the police coming in initially, they can only go by what they're told, right? They think that someone has broken in, that there was and possibly still an intruder there who shot Caleb's wife, Ashley. However, one of the things, and I don't remember, I did watch this video, but I don't remember if they brought it up here in this video or if they brought it up in the 911 call. The door that they're talking about, the back door that's open, is you would have had to push a refrigerator out of the way to get into it. So this will never come up in court, or not likely. I shouldn't say never. Not likely. But one of the things that I can tell you from the mindset of a criminal who do these type of things is that they want very quick, easy access. I'm sure that there were plenty of other doors that they probably could have gotten into, plenty of other windows that they probably could have gotten into without pushing a refrigerator out of the way from the outside inside. Right? Because keep in mind, as a burglar, not only are you trying to get in and out quickly, but you want to do it with as little noise. And if you're pushing a door with a refrigerator on the other side out of the way to get inside, that's gonna make a pretty significant amount of noise. The refrigerator dragging across the floor. There's so many aspects, right? So many hurdles that a potential burglar who wants to get in and out as quickly as possible would have to go through. The other thing is that it's kind of suspicious that a burglar who potentially doesn't know the landscape, doesn't know the house, doesn't know their way around, went to the center console and spoiler alert, when the Caleb's pistol was in the console of the vehicle. So as a burglar, if this was truly a burglary gone wrong, why would you go into the person's car, right? It's one thing to go in there to rob it and things like that, but you know exactly where the pistol is. You leave the console open. Like these are dynamics of a robbery gone wrong that just typically that don't tend to happen, right? That just I won't say never, but I'll just say not likely. Now, something like that could happen in a TV show, right? And the reason why I bring that up is that a lot of times when people are staging things, they do things that, this seems plausible because I saw it on TV, right? That they found someone else's pistol within the home and then use that same pistol on that person, those sorts of things, right? Those things happen in movies and on TV, but they're not as likely to happen. Now burglary gone wrong can happen, but typically it's at the hands of the weapon that the burglar brings with them. Let's continue.
Hey, somebody needs to be watching him.
She's obviously suspicious.
Where's he?
You want me to call Mike if you want to? Okay.
Are there any firearms in this house?
I have a shotgun.
Okay.
What's that?
Oh, I said okay.
A shotgun and a 22 and
Where?
and I have a handgun in my truck.
Okay.
In the glove box.
Okay.
Now, police are at this point just trying to gather facts from Caleb Flynn and take in what they can see inside of the house. Now, you will notice that center console, police say, is open in Caleb's car. They also notice that there is a door open in the garage. It appears to be a door that you would have to shove a refrigerator out of the way to get in. Caleb says that he has a couple of firearms in the house, but he specifically says he keeps a handgun in the glove box of his car. Now, it's unclear at this point, even after the release of this body cam video, whether police have the murder weapon in this case. Police then work their way through Caleb's house into the room of the Flynn's daughters, who still appear to be asleep.
Sit down on the couch, okay?
Can I call somebody?
Awake.
Both of them?
Yep.
Stick with 230.
Is this just a room? Is this just a room? Okay.
RP is requesting a check on Rebecca, Sean, and
Clear.
boyfriend is at the location where he was.
Where did Corey go? What's that room? Here.
The girl's okay.
Yes. Girls are okay. Okay, you're good. Sit down.
Do I call anybody?
Hold on, honey.
Oh God.
Do you want to let him?
there a dog in the county?
Is he gone?
Okay.
I can't see my one.
Any contact? You would say there a dog in the county? Hang on for a few minutes.
Corey, do we want to let him call any family? Or no?
Yes, he's okay to call family, but they cannot come inside this house.
Okay.
We probably should.
I think it's very interesting that instead of asking if she's okay, his question is she gone? Now, some of that might be because she was obviously shot in the head and twice if you're not familiar with this case. But when you combine that with the 911 call, again, if you go back to the 911 call that I wrote down, his level of care of his wife who allegedly had just been shot, not caring for the wounds. There was a part of the 911 call where the operator asked him if he was putting pressure on the wounds, and he just laid a towel over top of her and shook her leg rather than, like, obviously if this is a very traumatic event, you're going to be grabbing that person, seeing if they're okay, bandaging the wounds, to the best of your ability. And one of the things I brought up in the 911 call, he just shook her leg. Right. That's something that you do if you're gently trying to wake someone up, not someone has just been shot. So to me, a lot of his behavior, his demeanor, even though he's absolutely hysterical, doesn't add up to someone who is truly, absolutely devastated about his wife, or even at the fact that that the home had just been burglarized, right? Not checking on the daughters. There's just a lot of things so I think that a lot, the argument against that is some people would say, well, he's a guy. Some men don't think about stuff like that. And he's just extremely selfish. And I would argue that even if someone was even to the umpteenth degree of selfishness, right? Someone who's extremely sociopathic and narcissistic, high on the cluster B spectrum, you would still see a level of concern, even if it's concern for their own safety. And to know whether or not my own personal body is safe, it requires for me to check to see if other people are safe, even if it's in my own selfish interest. So to me, this leans more towards someone who kind of already knows the conclusion. I know that my wife isn't alive, right? And I'm intentionally trying to shield my daughters from waking up. Not only do I not want them to see this, but I also don't want other witnesses. I don't want them to have anything that they can share to the police. I don't want them to be able to say that they saw me cleaning things up and saw me going in and out of the room and putting timelines together with the police. So I mentioned this in another video that I did, a similar video with Corey Richens. It's very convenient in cases like this that the spouse who's being accused always just happens to be sleeping with the kids in the kids' room for whatever reason, right? 364 days out of the year, they're sleeping in the same room with their significant other, but this happens to be the one night of the entire millennium they sleep in their kids' room. And not only that, but they couldn't hear what was going on. They, all of these things are very suspicious, and not only suspicious, but also par for the course when it comes to these type of cases.
Yep. Okay.
The kids are okay.
Yes. Both the girls they woke up when we walked in. I don't want to ask. I don't want to ask him questions right now.
That's fine. That's fine.
For a few minutes. Sit down, honey. Okay. Stay seated. Are you able to tell me her information?
There are no dogs working.
I know that this is really difficult, okay?
They're clear, thank you.
What's your name?
245.
Caleb. I'm sorry, okay?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
You can call family, by the way. They just can't come in this house. They're not going to be able to come like near the house or anything like that.
I'm gonna call it, Mom. My parents live in Minnesota.
Okay, before you do that, can you do me a favor, okay?
Yeah.
What's her first and last name?
Now, there was one part of the 911 call that stood out to a lot of people, and it's when the 911 dispatcher asks Caleb Flynn whether his girls are okay, because this is someone who claims that a burglar broke into their house, shot and killed his wife, and then fled, and yet he tells the dispatcher that he has not checked on the girls who were asleep in their rooms. But you see in that body cam video, though it is blurred, that officers went and checked on the girls and they're okay. Now, in the body cam, police cut the audio and they seem to redact what Caleb is saying about his wife and what maybe he saw inside of the house and where he was specifically when Ashley Flynn was killed. Now, what makes this story so shocking? And there's so many different parts of it, obviously, that make this story incredibly shocking. But part of it is that Caleb appeared to be the perfect husband, that he and Ashley were this perfect couple, a great family. They were both devout Christians. Both of them volunteered in their community and at their local church. Ashley was a volleyball coach at the local middle school, and she also worked as a teacher. Caleb played in the church band, and he also owned a flooring company. Now, after about 45 minutes inside the home, Caleb makes his way outside. And at that point,
before we move on to the next scene, I want to touch on this whole perfection thing. It's oftentimes people say that this is someone can be like the perfect couple. They're in church, they're doing this, they're doing that, and on the surface, I can bet everything I have. If we, unfortunately, obviously we can't talk to her, but if we had been able to talk to her, and I'm sure it'll come out in trial, people who had talked to Ashley would tell you that wasn't the case, right? So the reason why I want to bring this up is that oftentimes people make it seem like people who are manipulative, people who are controlling, people who are abusive, those sorts of things, they're so good, right? They can get over on anyone. And to an extent that might be true, but behind the scenes, people who know them and who are close to them typically know them very well. I would not be surprised, not one single bit. I mentioned this in the 911 breakdown. Would not be surprised, not one bit, if we find out that Caleb had a mistress, that he was seeing someone on the side, or possibly Ashley was, right? And that was, or Ashley brought up a divorce or something on those lines, and that then becomes the motive. Oftentimes with these type of cases, one of the things that happens is that the person is so busy trying to keep up with a certain image, with a certain lifestyle, with a certain status. On one hand, they don't want the other person to leave. They also won't change. They also don't necessarily want to honor a divorce or a separation or anything like that, especially something like this where he seems and comes across as the type that cares a lot about his image and the perception that people have of him. Which, by the way, if you are in a toxic or an abusive, unhealthy relationship, if you're going through any sort of domestic violence, I take domestic violence very, very seriously on this channel. And if you go into the links in the description of my bio, you can connect with a licensed therapist through BetterHelp. You'll get 15% off your first month of therapy through BetterHelp. And one of the best parts about it is that you can do that from the comfort and convenience of your home. You can do it on your lunch break, so you can keep private. I understand in situations like that, you might not be able to get away necessarily to have conversations with people. And that's true also of people who it's also true of people who might be recovering from a toxic or unhealthy relationship as well. But with all that being said, let's get back into it.
Point. He is so incredibly emotional, and he is embraced by someone who appears to be either a family member or a close friend.
Come on, honey.
Give me a squad to look at you. That's about to just look at him.
The girls don't know. The girls are like, you just said. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do either. I'm just I'm in shock. Yeah, I think maybe.
Do you want to sit down on the steps?
Do you have a blanket? Can we get him a blanket?
Yep. Give him a blanket.
One of the things that can happen in situations like this is that people are really good at playing victim. Again, all of these things are alleged, but when someone is playing victim, it tends to draw a lot of attention off of takes attention off of what's actually happening, and that person is able to consume it, right? And in a lot of cases like this, where going back to the whole they were the perfect couple type, it's very easy. It's much easier to play victim in those type of roles. And you'll see that quite often. Again, he's still in court, so we're not sure how this is all going to turn out. But if you look at other cases that are similar, where there's a spouse or significant other that dies at the hands of their husband, their wife, it's very common in those type of patterns and in those type of cases that the person who murdered or killed the person ends up playing victim in those roles. But let's continue.
Who walked around in the back?
What's that?
Who walked around in the back? The deputies?
Deputies.
None of us have walked around in the back?
No.
Do you not want us to?
I don't.
Let.
I was only till dogs got here. We have 2 dogs.
Okay.
I just had them go around and put up. I don't know. Colt might have went around some to put up the tape.
Yeah.
That would have been it.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, Troy said they could bring a drone, but we don't know what they were looking for. I mean,
I can tell she's very suspicious. The lady police
And the
officer.
door to the garage was wide open. And then I.
How long were you here before we got here? Like 20 seconds?
yeah, not too long.
Okay.
Because I think I seen your guys' lights.
Yeah. No cars came driving out of
No,
here.
I didn't see nothing.
I didn't see anything either. All down Hyatt.
And
I didn't see
I
anything.
came first one. It came in. I started going fast, and they said,
Yeah. Yeah.
I hit my siren.
Oh, yeah.
Then I turned the siren off a ways down, so
Yeah.
I don't scare no one.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't find it the first time.
Well, the side door is what's open.
It's open still.
Yeah, it is. There was a fridge in front of it.
Now, in following this story, it was clear that on the surface, Caleb was the last person who so many people thought could do something like what he's accused of doing to his wife. Caleb was actually once an American Idol contestant. He appeared on the show in 2014, and they did a little feature on him in the episode. And he is quoted in that episode as saying that he just loves his wife. But more than a decade later, we are dealing with a very, very scary situation. Now, in the hours after Ashley was killed, police say that there was a working theory that this was a burglary that went violent. And that definitely put the people of Tip City on edge. Police put up drones. They used dogs to try and figure out where an alleged intruder would have come from, where they went. But there was no sign of the intruder. One thing you do notice in watching the body cam, though, for as terrified as the public was in the hours after Ashley was killed, because the police chief said that they were working through a theory that this was a burglary gone bad. That was their words. You do notice police from the beginning, they're keeping things very professional. They're very even keeled emotionally. And it seems that even though Caleb is telling this terrible story about what he says happened, and he's certainly emotionally hysterical, police still are looking at him as if he is someone who could be a suspect in this case.
Everything? Yeah. The back door is open. There's like a door on the side right there. It's open. So
You guys cleared the garage and everything?
yeah, we didn't. The truck, the center console with truck's open, and that's where he said he keeps his gun. So
Who shot?
the wife,
In the same ring? Tim?
yeah, in the bed.
He ain't hear that?
I haven't talked to him. Corey's the one that's talked to him.
Now, here's the body cam of an officer talking to an EMT about what they saw when they went into the bedroom and saw Ashley's body.
I know you're not certified telling me this. How long do you think you've been going for? I mean, it's probably
Not long.
Okay. We're just trying to figure out why in the hell, where was he at? As we got here about a burglary call.
Yeah, I'm guessing, but not hours.
Okay.
But they'll be able to get her body temperature.
Okay.
And they will be able to tell you a time.
Okay.
It hasn't been 5 hours.
So the officer brings up a question that I brought up in my 911 breakdown of this case. Where was he at? Right. I mentioned that just a little bit ago with the daughters as well. The way that this is set up, obviously I haven't seen the actual footage or anything like that, but everyone else is very skeptical as well. And just so you know, if you haven't listened to the 911 tape, Ashley was shot and killed in her bed. So if this was a burglary gone wrong, and again, it doesn't make sense. If she, in the 911 call, Caleb made it sound like Ashley got up to go see. So then how did she end up in the bed? And if she ended up in the bed, right, why weren't anyone else shot in the bed? right? So there's a lot of things that just don't make much sense. Obviously, Caleb tries to say, or is saying, that he was in the girls' room, and that's the reason why he wasn't in the room. But it still doesn't make any sense as to the reason why Ashley was in the bed, or that Caleb would know that she got up to go see what was going on with the burglary. Right? None of that adds up, and none of that makes sense. So let's continue.
Her color,
Recently,
her color was still good.
Okay.
But not color good.
Okay.
It was gray matter at the exit wound.
Yeah, I see what I mean. She was gone, but
I don't have to get a name and date of birth if you come by the station later.
yeah, we'll get this.
Or we can hang out too.
Yeah, if you want. Yeah,
We just hang out.
we're going to be pretty much hanging out here until detectives get here.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Now, police definitely seem to have questions, but they say since Caleb is so hysterical that they're waiting for him to calm down and for detectives to arrive before they question him further. Here is that friend on the front porch of their house, comforting Caleb with a blanket, asking questions to police.
It just happened, so he just called you.
Yeah. I would say probably 40 minutes ago now.
So, with the grocery store laying down. She's sound asleep. You know, she knew.
She told me to sleep on the couch and I was coughing. I shouldn't have listened.
Now, eventually, Caleb, wrapped in that blanket, is walked to an ambulance to be checked out and then to a police car where police say he voluntarily went down to the station to answer some questions. This is video of Caleb giving his DNA voluntarily to police. Now, we don't have timestamps on this body cam video, so we don't know just how many hours after police arrived at Caleb's house where this is happening.
I'm sorry to meet you under these circumstances, sir. So again, you can call me Will. Now, what was your first name, sir?
Caleb.
Caleb. All right.
Anything from me or my parents coming from out of town, like my phone and everything. I'm gonna get everything processed with that we would need, and we'll see what we can do about as far as like getting it back to you as soon as possible. Yeah. But unfortunately, in the situation, it's kind of standard for us to, collect everything. Okay. I'm going to step out since you're doing your thing with him. If you need anything, just
okay.
All right.
Pretty simple process. So, I'm sure Detective Morgan.
This page.
Yeah, I got one. Thank you. Kind of told you. So for touch DNA, if there's stuff left at the residence, this would eliminate you. Like if the crime lab, they see it and they're like, okay, no, this matches the homeowner. So we need, or it doesn't. So now we have this other profile. We got to try to find out who that is.
Okay.
So with these, it's real simple. It's sterile. New packaging. So if you just open your mouth and then I just put it in and I swirl it around on your cheek a couple times.
Now, we don't have interrogation video of Caleb, the back and forth that he had with officers when they questioned him about his wife's murder. We do know, based off court records, the 911 call, and body cam video, what Caleb's side of the story is. But it is unclear what, for police, was the reason they decided to arrest him and charge him with his wife's murder. What is that key piece of evidence that could lead to a conviction? We're obviously a long way away from that. Now, police have also not said what they believe the motive is, though there is a lot of speculation online about it.
Don't know much about the situation other than sounds like a home invasion and went bad or something like that. So, all right, let me check with the detectives real quick if they need. I don't know if they would actually need your boxers. If they do, then I'll ask. But yeah, you can open.
Now, here's the moment where Caleb is put under arrest.
I need you to stand up for me, like, you'll be placed under arrest. All right.
Step forward.
You want evidence?
What's that?
Turn around for me, sir.
We're not going to discuss that here. Okay. There's
Put your
time
hands
and a place
together for me, like.
Did Patrick call you?
What's that?
Did Patrick call you?
Now, I didn't know that he was calling. So.
His lawyer's supposed to be calling right now.
Okay, yeah. We'll get in touch with him.
I'm being cordial and being cooperative. So, you know,
You want to give him a hug real quick and go ahead?
I'm sure it'll come out. There's no evidence. They know how much you love that one. You're going to do it. You're strong. You're sandy. You're strong. You're okay. So work out.
So I think it's interesting. I'm not sure if this is his brother, who this is, if this is his father. I know he called his father to come down. But one of the very first things that they ask is, under what evidence? And then you hear him say to him, don't worry about it. They have absolutely no evidence. I don't know if the father is in connection. I don't know what type of conversations, what type of sidebars that they may have had. Sometimes people who engage in this type of stuff not only bring other people in, but also kind of tip their hand a little bit to people, and they'll say things like, I hope they don't think it's me, and this, and those sorts of things. And so it's interesting, the fathers, or whoever this person is, I shouldn't assume that it's his father or brother, but it's interesting to see their reaction and the way that they're going about it, and the not only the assumption, but they've already called an attorney. Now obviously there may have been some questions that we weren't privy to, that they kind of saw this coming, right? They had a feeling that this was happening, but I just find it interesting that that was one of the very first things that he said. Now, it could be because Caleb convinced him that he didn't do it, and so he was saying, hey, well, they have no evidence. There's nothing to worry about. But on the other hand, it's oftentimes, I just did a case breakdown on Kevin West, the firefighter, the fire chief who killed his wife in a similar situation, and he tipped his hand to a lot of people, a lot of his coworkers, saying things like, I feel bad that I don't feel bad. And, little subtle things that at the time seem weird and awkward, but not enough to say, okay, this person is a murderer. But then at hindsight, people were able to say oh yeah, that was kind of weird. And so it'll be interesting to see the testimony that we get from people that know Caleb and know Ashley well, and to see what the behind the scenes was, what type of things that Ashley may have been saying behind the scenes, and then also some things that Caleb may have said to people that kind of let people know that that he potentially did this, that kind of concerned people.
Sir, do you have or stick me any sharps or anything? Sure.
He hasn't eaten in days. Can you get some water at least?
Don't give him food.
Are we holding on priority calls then? I got a problem that came in.
Relax your arms for me for a second, sir. Can you spread your legs for me real quick?
Hey, come on. You're good.
All right. Just walk with us.
It's unclear who the person is by Caleb's side, but you can see here just another example of someone who just cannot fathom that he is the one who killed his wife. Caleb is then cuffed and he's shipped down to the county jail. At his first court appearance, the judge asked Caleb if there was anything he had to add, and this is what he said.
Is there anything you would want to tell me about that?
Sir, I just want to take care of my daughters. I'm not at risk.
I understand. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, the court is going to order a $2 million blanket bond in this case, covering all of your charges. Should you post bond in this case, the court will order that you be on pretrial services electronically monitored house arrest. Furthermore, the court will order that you will have no contact whatsoever, directly or indirectly through a third party with. You are not permitted to speak to them in any way, shape, or form. That includes electronic communications.
Caleb originally was charged with 1 count of murder, 2 counts of felonious assault for the amount of bullets he allegedly fired at his wife, and 2 counts of tampering with evidence for allegedly trying to stage the crime scene to make it look like a break-in that went violent. Flynn.
All right, that'll do it for me today. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. You guys have a good one.